Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? It's Gadgets for the win here. Finally coming back, making a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube video. I mean, what can I say? It has been a crazy couple of formats. Obviously, I've been posting on my YouTube page. I am a student, and as a student, it's really hard to do any kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, especially hobby like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it has its ups and downs in price and the formats and everything like that. The list goes on and on. But wanted to get back. I want to get back into the game because I love the game, and it seems like it's a pretty good format to get back into the game. I know that there's a lot of new stuff out there. Well, with the Pendulum Monsters, I mean, I left the game before Pendulum Monsters even came out. That was actually part of the reason why I left the game. It's just I could not get my brain wrapped around, you know, a new card, especially with everything that was going on in the format already with the deck types in that format. Those deck types are now pretty much either been destroyed or limited by ban lists over the years, and now there's a bunch of new decks out there that you kind of have to relearn the game. I started a series on my YouTube page, you know, before I left, called the Deck Check. And this is the Deck Check. This is episode 3. And I'm calling this one, How Do I Get Back Into Yu-Gi-Oh? This is partly a question, I guess. I guess it's a question I could ask people. Really just no one in particular. If anyone has an opinion on this, you can write it in the comments below, or PM me if you want, you know, whatever. Really, I use my YouTube page. I know I'm not big or anything. I have, what, 30 subscribers on my page. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I really just do this to get ideas out there. And if you're the one person that is asking specifically, like, this question, how do I get back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, this video is for you, I guess. I hope you all enjoy what I put out there as far as content goes, and hopefully I'll be able to do more Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube videos soon. Obviously, I'm just a teenage kid who works at Burger King to try to help with my school tuition, and I do Yu-Gi-Oh! And video games on the side, so that's why it's called Gadgets for the win. And also one of my favorite decks is the Gadgets, obviously you can see because of the mat underneath here. But anyway, very crazy format. This is one of those formats where I looked at it and I swear I was having a relapse of when I first started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when I was 7. And you had cards like Ring of Destruction, Raigeki, Blackluster Soldier, all of that running around. Now these cards have returned to the game. While new cards like as you see here, Thunder King, they're still limited to 1, yet Dark Hole, Mirror Forces, the High Destruction cards, they're being released. So it's a very destructive format. I mean, it's one of those formats where whatever deck you play, you have to be very careful of how you establish the field, because in an instant you can get pretty much blown out of the water. Yet you can have a very protective back row as well. And really, to establish a field in this game is pretty difficult, yet at the same time very easy, depending on what your opponent's draws were and what your draws were. But anyway, how do you get back into Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm going to probably break this up into multiple videos, maybe, depending on how much time I have. But the key points, I guess, I want to talk about, like with me specifically. If you're a person, for whatever reason, you left the game because of financial reasons. I mean, the game does get expensive at times, like I said. You're a student, or you have work, or a relationship, whatever reason you leave the game, but after time goes on and you're at a point where it's like, you know what, I can kind of afford to have a cool hobby. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a hobby I've definitely left and returned to multiple times, and so this is one of those things where I guess I've kind of, I don't want to say become an expert, no one's an expert really, but I know a couple tips, and hopefully if you're someone getting back into the game, this will help you to actually get back into the game. One thing specifically, and this is probably obvious, is know the ban list, know what you're getting yourself into. That way you don't go to an event without going to your locals first, and you have this really awesome deck and you think it's going to top, or you just think it's going to do well, and then all of a sudden you find out half the cards in it are banned. I remember doing that a long time ago when I left and then came back to the game, and it was a shocker. I ended up having to play in traditional format because it was so bad, and obviously the people in traditional format knew better than I did on how to create traditional format decks, and so got creamed, but being able to play the game was what was fun. The second thing is, too, is make sure that whatever deck you make, it does not have to be a top-tier deck, meaning don't put $400 down on the table when you really are not practiced enough. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is something where if you get decent at it, it's like riding a bike, you'll never forget. However, you want to be able to do something without having it be too expensive. At the time of recording this, we are almost done with one ban list, going into another ban list, so my deck is still Gear Karakuri. It's something I made kind of just on my own time, still maintaining my watch on the ban lists, and in case I ever got time to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is now, I had a deck, and it's good. It's like tier 2, getting up there towards tier 1, depending on where your locals are, and what's at your locals, but it's decent. It's something that you can test the waters with. You're not gonna, a deck that you pick is not necessarily gonna be a top tier deck, but you want it to be good enough that you can say, you know what, I can have fun, and I'm leaving this tournament of 7 rounds with like a 4-3 ratio, an X3 ratio. That's not that bad. You know, you're still winning more times than you're losing, you're having fun, you get to hang out with people, and locals is not that big of a deal anyway. It's where you go to practice. And if you happen to win, then great, you get free stuff, you know, like a free special edition or something, you know, so it's one of those things where just pick a good deck that maybe you don't necessarily have to upgrade too much. It's something you already have, something you can have fun with, to go test the waters with, and, you know, really just have fun with the game. And then a final thought is try to get other people involved with you. Get other people to, if you have more friends that you know are still going to the tournament, you know, talk to them, see what their opinion is. If you have people that are like you and you really haven't seen the format in a while, do research together. Have them on their, on their own time, go look up something, you look up something yourself. And then you guys can kind of come together and say, hey, this is what the format looks like. I'm thinking that we should go for this deck type, and just kind of ride it out until the next ban list. And if you get into it and you last until the next ban list and you say, hey, let's get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Again and really kind of commit ourselves to it, and like we were before, if before was going to locals every weekend or something like that, and then going to a regional every once in a while, you know, at least you guys are doing it together. It's something where you can hang out with, you know, really great people, and just have fun playing the game, you know, messing around, and just really enjoying it. And if you enjoy the game as much as I do, please check out more of my Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube videos. I know they're kind of dated, but some of them are pretty good, like how to prepare for a regional and what have you. And again, I'm going to be making more episodes like this, so hope you guys stay tuned. I hope in some way this was informative, and I'm going to be talking more about this in probably the next few videos as I, myself, am personally getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright guys, peace.